Okay, if you could just let us know that you're here by simply typing your name in the chat box and hitting the submit question button. Hi, my name is Steve Champagne, and over the next hour or so, I'm going to be talking to you how to become a marketing ninja. I got a question for you. Are you stressed where your next client is coming from? If you are, again, take a moment, type inside the chat box and say, yeah, this is an issue for me. Go ahead, do it right now. Yeah, I can see that it is for you, Glenn. Okay. Thanks, Sue. Brian, okay. Dave, all right. Mary, okay. Thanks. Let me ask you another question. Do you feel like you're on a hamster wheel and you're just chasing after your next client and your business just does not seem to be going anywhere? I'm sure you've felt that. I know I've felt that in the past. Let me ask you this. Could you use a proven system to generate more leads? And by generating more leads, well, you will be generating more sales. The formula is that simple. And you will never have to worry about where your next piece of business is coming from if you focus on probably the most important aspect of your business, and that is generating leads. So today's agenda, I want to talk about several things that's going to be jam-packed, so I want you to take lots of notes. So the first thing I want to talk to you about today is an overview of the various ways that you could be generating leads for your business. All right, the current landscape of the offline and web development market space, it's changing. It's very competitive. How to get your fair share in the marketplace today. We're going to talk to you about some methods about going to do that. I'm then going to reveal to you my secret lead generation system and approach. I'm going to give you a blueprint to making 10K monthly recurring income in under 120 days or less. And of course, I will have a special limited time offer for you at the end of this webinar. Now, for those of you who have got on the webinar today, I promised you a free gift. Down at the lower left-hand corner of this presentation, you're going to see a button to download a copy of a piece of software we created called Remarketing Ninja. So do that during the presentation today. Now, if you're watching the replay, unfortunately, you're not going to see this, but that's okay. It's a great piece of software, and you'll be able to get it soon for a very, very reasonable price. So without further ado, let's keep on going. Okay, first thing I want to talk to you about today is what is a qualified lead? Well, in my mind, the person must be able to make a buying decision for the company. They must show interest in learning more about your product, have the ability to pay for your product, can be reached by phone, can be reached by email, and can be reached by direct mail. In my mind, this is what a qualified lead is. So let's talk about some ways that you can be generating leads. And some of these methods you're probably using, and probably some of these methods you're not using. We're going to look at inbound marketing methods, and we're also going to be looking at outbound marketing methods. Now, inbound marketing methods are generally when someone has some type of awareness and is looking for your product, okay? Outbound marketing is that you are proactively building awareness for your product, okay? Now, what you'll find is that typically people who are working with inbound marketing, right, strategies, someone in the past has used outbound marketing strategies to build awareness for them. So outbound always leads inbound marketing. So why don't you get ahead of the curve with outbound? So let's talk about some inbounds. First of all is referrals. We love referrals. I know I love referrals. It's easy. It's built-in trust there, right? There's networking. A lot of you are out there doing networking and going to meetings and part of BNI groups and going to chamber meetings. Both these methods are awesome because they're not overly, salesy, and it puts you in a power position. Now, there's been a lot of talk out there of content marketing, and that falls into social media, blogging, and PR, okay? Content marketing, in my mind, is great, but it is not a short-term game. It's a long-term game. You're building your credibility, you're building your authority, and you definitely should be doing that, okay? But it takes a lot of time, energy, and money to create content. Now, there's the search engine marketing approach, okay, and that can be broken down into SEO and PPC. Now, the whole SEO game is just constantly changing. I mean, Google is always making it very difficult. And frankly, in my business, I have actually stopped doing SEO for my clients. Now, PPC is probably the quickest and easiest ways to get inbound traction in the search engines, is just to basically buy your way there. Then, of course, there's remarketing. Now, that's, as we all know, that's when someone goes out to your website and they've been cookied, and now we're showing them digital display advertisement as they go through the web, whether it's in social media like Facebook, or you're in the Google network or some other display network that is showing your ads after someone's visited your website. I love remarketing, and it's definitely one of the things we talk to our clients about. Now, let's talk about outbound marketing. Door-to-door face calling. I have to tell you, I've used this method heavily when initially getting started and building my business. I think there's nothing better than going out and talking to someone face-to-face about your products and services. Now, the inherent problem here is that you're geographically bounded to your area, all right? And that will hinder how fast your business will grow, or how much your business will grow. There's direct mail. I love direct mail, but direct mail is probably the most expensive outbound marketing you can do on a CPM level, a cost per thousand level. And we only really reserve this for our warm leads and our hot prospects. There's email broadcast marketing. Now, there's been a lot said about email marketing in the local spaces, where you build email lists, you scrape lists, and you send out these broadcast emails. The real reality is cold email marketing doesn't work all that much, and it is a lot of work. Now, I think you should be using email marketing, but in a different way, and we'll talk a little bit about that as we get into this presentation today. There's telemarketing. Now, this is really the secret weapon here, is telemarketing. And I know most of you who are watching this presentation today are going like, well, I'm not too sure about telemarketing. Well, by the end of this presentation, you're going to see that this is going to be the spearhead of your marketing, and it will take your business to new heights. You just need to look at the major players out there in the local consulting space, like Reach Local and things like those companies, and you'll see that they're using telemarketing to grow their business. And I'm going to be real bold in saying that you should too. And then there is the print and online advertisement space. I typically stay away from this particular space myself. So let's keep on going. So let's face it, you got a lot of competition out there today. Okay, what we're looking at is a map of just the LA area. And what this is a search of internet marketing agencies in the LA area. If you want to see how much competition is in your backyard, I challenge you to do this, I should say, is to go into Google Maps and type in internet marketing, your city and state, and you're going to see how much competition you have and how many people are hanging their shingles. So how do you get your fair share? Well, let's first look at an inbound marketing method called SEM PPC. Okay, it's the quickest way to get in the search engines. Supposedly, these are the folks that are, have interest in your products and services when they find you on the internet, and that typically would be a warm targeted lead. So I went into the Google AdWords tool and I typed in and tried to find as many related keywords as I could find around, web developer LA, website developer, SEO, all those related keywords. And this is what I came up with. Now, according to Google, what you can expect after 1 month of marketing on these terms is probably about 31 clicks. Again, look at the position here too. Okay, you're right at the very top of the search. But at 1.4, you're between positions 1 and 2 here. You're going to have a lot of impressions, close to 4,500 impressions, but your click-through rate is very, very low, as you can see, 0.7, and your average cost per click is $9.72, and you're going to spend $304. So 31 clicks for $304. Now, let's assume that these are clicks. These are not leads here, okay? So what you would assume here is that you would want to be able to say, well, how many of those 31 clicks would convert over to leads? Well, best case scenario is 5 leads, and your lead cost here is $60 a lead. $60 a lead. That's pretty expensive in my mind. Okay, let's keep on going. So how do you continue to get your fair share of the marketplace? Well, let's take a look at outbound virtual telemarketers. Yep, virtual telemarketers. And we're going to look at Upwork, which used to be Odesk. They recently just made a change. And you can find people to do outbound telemarketing for you, okay, very inexpensively. I found this person, okay, who has over close to 1,400 hours and works on Odesk and Upwork, and has 11 jobs, is looking for full-time work, and is willing to work for $5.50 an hour. The reality is that this person will work for about $4 an hour all day long. So how many leads could you generate with a telemarketer? Well, let's get the calculator out. For that same $300 that you were going to spend on pay-per-click advertisement, and you were going to pay this person $4 an hour to work for you, you would get roughly 75 hours of telemarketing out of this person. And so how many leads could you possibly generate? Remember, on the best case scenario with PPC, you're probably looking at 5 or 6 leads at best. Now, on the low end with telemarketing, you're looking at 75 leads for that 75 hours for that $300. That's $4 a lead, way better than 60. Now, if you're able to generate 2 leads an hour, okay, that would be 150 leads for you for that period at $2 a lead. Again, going back to the beginning of this presentation, some of you are coming on late here. What's a qualified lead? Qualified lead is someone who has the ability to, make a buying decision, can pay for your services, and you have their full contact information from email to direct mail and telephone number. Now, this would be on the high side, but you could achieve, depending upon the approach, 3 leads an hour. So for that same 75 hours, you're looking at 225 leads for $300. And this is a part-time telemarketer for you. And now what you're looking at is a lead cost of $1.34. I'm assuming you would agree with me that this is definitely a better expenditure of money. Okay. I don't care how big or small your company is. Nothing works better or more cost-effective than picking up the phone to fill your sales pipeline, okay? Again, going back to the beginning of the presentation, more leads equals more sales. It's really that simple. Okay, if telemarketing is the holy grail, why are not more agencies doing this? Well, it's quite simple. It comes down to 2 things. Call reluctance, fear of picking up the phone here, and it's time consuming. Again, we're going to address both of these things right now. Let's first deal with call reluctance. What you want to do here is you want to go after the no, okay, when making calls. Going after the no is the way you do it. You're flipping the script. So the approach that we teach is something called CMC, call, mail, call. Your first call is designed specifically to see if they're interested in receiving some information. You're then going to mail them that information via email. And then you're going to do a follow-up call to then try to set that presentation appointment, okay? That first call is really designed to find out who are the folks that are truly interested in your products. So what is the anatomy of a good call script? Well, first of all, you want to have a strong benefit statement or a really strong hook. You want to check for interest. If they're not interested, say thank you very much and go on to the next call, all right? It is not worth the energy to try to convince that person to keep on going with you. You want to get an email address, of course. You want to get the full name of the decision maker if you haven't got it already. And then here is where what you really want to do is that you want to qualify for the ability to pay, okay? I'm not saying that you shouldn't send them the information if they don't answer this question, but you definitely want to ask them, can they afford your services right up front? So, how do you reduce your time and increase your productivity by threefold? Well, simply, you got to have a system. And the system is really down by leveraging yourself with virtual employees, VAs, and using software and technology. Which brings me to one of the things I want to talk to you, and this is my secret weapon that we've been working on for close to a year now, and it's called My Virtual Caller. And it's literally going to turbocharge your prospecting. We've done some amazing things with it, and we're going to take it really to the next level. Okay. So My Virtual Caller can be broken down into the ins and the outs. And what we're looking at here right now is the caller's dashboard. And from the in point of view is that you can import any CSV file list that you have into the system, okay? You can use our built-in B2B list builder. We've integrated with Google Places for you to build business-to-business calling list for free. You'll never, ever have to purchase another list if you don't want to. Now, once you've get the leads in here, what you need to do now is make some calls. And so we highly recommend using Skype. Skype is going to allow you to do outbound calls for $3 a month when you're calling the US and Canada. Now, we recently just integrated also with Twilio for you to give you the ability to do voicemail drops and text message marketing on that lead on a one-off basis. So how you would use this is that if you've made a couple attempts to make contact with these folks and you have been unable to get them on the phone, well, one click of the mouse and you'll get them on a voicemail drop and you can move on to your next record. Now, once you get a lead, you got to do something with it. Well, you can push them out to MailChimp with our system here, and you can get them on an email autoresponder campaign. Again, that's the M and the CMC approach that we have. And we can then push out to postcard services, where you can do some postcard marketing, and then you can be putting them into a Pipedrive account when that campaign is escalated to, or that person, I should say, is escalated to a bona fide proposal. Okay, would you like to get under the hood of My Virtual Caller? So let's take a few moments and let's actually take a look at the software. We're first going to look at the admin's control panel. We're going to build a very quick list. And then what we're going to do is we're going to jump into the caller's dashboard and do a very quick walkthrough, and then we'll come back to the presentation. Now, before I move on, though, I want to make sure that I get any questions answered. If you have any questions, take a moment and put it in the chat box and submit it to me, and we'll try to get them answered for you. So I'm just, while you guys are putting in your questions, I'm going to get ready to take you over to the admin center. Any questions? Okay, it looks like there's no questions. I guess I'll just keep on going. Okay. So this is the admin center. Here's where you'll have your assets when you're building out your campaigns. As you can see today, I have myself in here. You can put your voicemails and series in here, your calling scripts in here, and then your postcard series with this program. So the first thing I want to do is actually build a quick list with our list builder. This is really, really cool. I think you're going to like this. So quite simply, all you have to do is put in some search terms and hit the pull list button, and it will grab you a list. So I'm just going to get a quick list I have off screen. So some dentist. And we'll just pull a list. So what we're doing right now is we're actually going out to Google Places. We're going into that very large database that Google has. This is completely white label. We're not scraping the SERPs. And we're pulling back a list. Now, we're also going to be deduping the list against telephone number, against the root domain, and also against the address. So you're going to have a very, very clean list that comes back that has the company name. It has a full address and telephone number and a website address, okay? And And as you can see, we've pulled back 56 records real quickly. And I'm just going to put this in here as sample. And then I'll come down here and just quickly add them into our database. All right, so we've imported 56 records. Next thing we want to do before we jump over to Calls Dashboard is I want to build a quick campaign. So we'll come over here. We just select my assets. And then come over here and hit sample. And then we're just going to build a campaign. So that's how easy it was to build a campaign. All right. Let me jump back over now to, we're going to switch over now to another panel. And that is going to be here. There we go. And we're going to log into the Calls Dashboard. And then I'll walk you through the Calls Dashboard. So as you can see here in the middle, this is all the contact information that's available. You can filter down on your campaigns. You can also filter down on any custom statuses that you want to put in the system. As you can see, if we look at these leads, it's a nice set of leads, the company name, telephone number, address, of course, and the website. Now, when you're making calls, it's pretty easy and straightforward. You hit the click to call button, and that will launch your soft dialer that's on your phone. Again, we're highly recommending that you use Skype. If you don't have Skype, then we recommend using something like Zapier and some type of VoIP service with them. Now, as you make your calls, you're going to simply just click on these links over here, and it moves the record over to the next record, and then you just do a click to call. Now, assuming that we were unable to get this person on the phone a couple times, we're going straight to voicemail, we would simply click here, select the available voicemails that we've set up, and hit the send button, and then a voicemail will be sent. If you want to add them to a MailChimp campaign, once you had an email address, you simply click on MailChimp, select the campaign you want to add them to, and it'll be sent off. And if you want to send them a postcard, again, you simply click here, select the postcard that you would want to send off, and off it would go. Now, you also have your scripts over here, and you can set custom statuses over here. And add notes if you want to. You can move a record over to another telemarketer simply by clicking on this button and selecting telemarketer you want to move this over. This is really good if you're doing call transfers. Let's see, you want to get the weather, you want to visit their website. This is a really good feature right here. When you have their mobile telephone number, all you have to do is have a default message in the system. And this is really good if you're doing selling mobile websites. You could send that business owner a sample while you have them on the phone and show them firsthand what you can do. So this is the caller's dashboard. Okay, let me switch back over to my presentation. Okay, so that was a quick look under the hood of my virtual caller. And so let's keep on going. So what are people saying? Well, here's what Dan Wright is saying, and I'm just going to kind of paraphrase what Dan said because he wrote a very long testimonial here, is that it's an elegant and simple solution that keeps you primarily focused on prospecting. And my virtual caller will do that. And when you're using a VA to work for you, or if you're doing this yourself, you will be focused. You will definitely easily increase your work by threefold, okay? It's a simple step that we're going to be teaching you folks. It's called CMC, Call Mail Call. We've put together various markets you can go after with it in this approach, and we're going to educate you on those things. And he says, well, heck, I'm a great teacher. Well, thanks, Dan. Now, Donnie Bankston actually has a BPO company in the Philippines, and he's using my virtual caller to manage his call office. And he's been using it for about 60 days now. And he really likes how easy it is that he can scale his business when using my virtual caller. Okay, I promised you a blueprint to 10K a month in recurring income at the beginning of this webinar. So what is that blueprint? So let's go into this, take some notes, and then we'll keep on going after that. So following the CMC marketing funnel and your blueprint, the first thing you're going to want to do is you want to make that first call. And my virtual caller and with the list builder and Skype is going to handle that. Now, your goals for this call is to verify and gather data and qualify for interest. Now, you want to email them something of interest. It could be a free report. It could be an infographic. It could be a free analysis. And this is what I really like to send out is a free custom analysis. And we're going to talk a little bit about that in a couple slides, what those could be. You could offer them a free trial or a $1 trial, or you can invite them actually to an online training / webinar or something like this. Okay, maybe there's a market that you're going after, you want to build your authority in. Webinars is a great way to do it. Again, here, establish your credibility. So once you've done that first call, you're going to send out that first email immediately through MailChimp. You can set up an auto campaign to send out a second follow-up a day later, a third one on the third day, and then you'll place that follow-up call on the fourth day to close for an appointment. Now, not all of them are going to turn into appointments or a second presentation, so you get the ability to keep people in a passive funnel to keep on building your authority. Send them direct mail with the direct mail manager that we have integrated with my virtual caller. You can send out weekly emails. You can do 60-day callbacks. Again, all to build your credibility. All right, so what are some free analysis ideas? Well, the one I really like right now, and it's a great way to talk to people about it, is a WordPress hack threat assessment, okay? And roughly 1 out of 20, about 20% of all websites are on WordPress and they're out of date, all right? And you can really quickly and easily figure out these websites, and you can use, FAIR to at least start a conversation with these business owners who have WordPress websites that have not been up to date. And I mean, I was doing some research yesterday and I found probably 5 websites that are on 3.5. That is a big problem. Mobile website audit. I mean, Google has literally handed us, again, another great opportunity with their algorithm change in late April to talk to businesses that don't have a mobile website yet, okay? And still 50–60% of businesses don't have a mobile website. Great opportunity to get a foot in the door with them with a mobile website or a WordPress hack threat assessment. Now, you also can do what I like to call an online impact and visibility report, and this is more around SEO. Or, for those folks that are out there talking about reputation, an online reputation checkup. These are 4 free analyses that you can quickly and easily get in the hands of your prospects, and it gives you a great, foot in the door strategy or a great reason to be calling them. All right, let's talk about marketing activity here, okay? If you're able to make 30 calls an hour with my virtual caller, you should be able to do that very, very easily. Your telemarketer should be easily making 30 calls an hour. They should be making somewhere between 45 to 50 calls an hour, believe it or not. All right, they're getting 3 qualified prospects an hour, meaning that they've interested in receiving that free audit, that free analysis, and they've said yes to your TrustWire or your Tripwire pricing. Now, 20 hours of telemarketing a week, small budget, having your VAs working only 20 hours a week. It's 4 hours a day, 5 hours a day, 4 days a week, making your calls for you. What you're going to be putting into your pipeline every month is 24 qualified leads into your funnel. At the end of the year, you're going to have close to 3,000 leads in your funnel. I need you to think about this for a second, okay? 3,000 businesses that know who you are, that you're starting to build rapport with through a variety of ways of touches, through email, direct mail, follow-up phone calls. Eventually, a good piece of them, a good part of them, I should say, is going to become a client. That's only with 20 hours a week. So let's break this down to what I like to call dialing for dollars. Let's look at it. Only 2% of those leads, those qualified leads that are actually coming in, become business in the first 30 days. Okay, they purchase that Tripwire pricing, which should be roughly the cost of your telemarketer or more, slightly more. So if you made 1 sale, the cost of your telemarketer is actually covered for the month. You're going to get 5 clients. And at $500 recurring revenue, okay, this is where you make your money in recurring revenue. And we're going to talk about recurring revenue a little bit more here in a second. You're going to establish $2,500 a month for that first month in recurring revenue. That's $30,000 annualized. And if you want to put it into the most basic number, every time you pick up that phone, okay, or your telemarketer picks up that phone for you, that is worth to you $12. Okay, $12 is what it's worth to you when your VA is picking up the phone and making an outbound call. Now let's take this out 120 days, because that's what I said. In 120 days, you would have a blueprint for making $10K a month. Again, that same 2% conversion. 20 clients at $500 for reoccurring. That is $10,000 a month of recurring revenue. $120,000 annualized. And that's really just one quarter. Think about the type of income you could be making targeting businesses for only $500 reoccurring revenue a month. And that's really the target pricing and reoccurring revenue. So leverage yourself with a VA. At $4.25 an hour, at 20 hours a week of telemarketing, you're looking at $85 a week. That's $340 a month. Again, your price point for your Trustwire should be roughly about $400 to $500. If you're doing a mobile website, you can easily charge $500 for a mobile website. If you're doing a website audit and security package, you can easily charge $497 to set that up, plus ongoing monthlies. So every time your VA picks up the phone for you, it's costing you 12 cents, okay? That's what it's costing you for your VA to make that call. You're still netting per call $11.88. Please tell me any marketing that you're currently doing, I mean marketing, not networking, not referrals, spending money, that per lead or per lead you have in a database, it's that you're able to touch that person for less than 12 cents. You can't. Direct mail on a postcard is 65 cents. All right, I want to really talk about a winning, what I like to call a win-win recurring back end. All right, it has to be winning for you, and it has to be winning for your customer. Winning for you means is that there's no churn. They stick with you forever. I have clients that have been with me for 3 years. And why is that? Is because the products that I sell to them month in and month out give them return on investment. There's a lot of gurus out there teaching, high price products of, $400, $500, $1,000, and there's no return on investment. And so that customer is gone very quickly, and they have a very bad taste in their mouth going forward. Okay, so what are the win-win offers that have really give good return on investment for your customer and keeps that person in your book of business for a very long time? Well, done for you text marketing. I charge $200 a month for sending out one text a week, okay, plus the cost of the text. So as they build a list, and you're targeting for certain businesses, a list of 3,000, they could expect to spend about $300 a month on text marketing. So I do all their texting. They're not going to do it. I do it for them. Facebook ads. This is huge. I don't know if you're not doing Facebook ads for your clients right now in the B2C space. This is a game changer. I charge $200 a month for putting one Facebook ad up for the month and running it for the month and doing 10 posts a month to their Facebook page. All right. And that's pretty much both of these things take me about a half hour per month to do for my client, and I'm done. And again, they're also covering their costs. So their ad spend, typically they're spending between $200 and $300 when it comes to Facebook advertisement. Reputation monitoring and response, setting them up with some type of feedback program. There's a couple good ones out there. I'm not going to mention any names, but for $200 a month, I set them up on one of them. And I also handle any bad responses that hit their either Google Plus profile or their Yelp profile. I literally go in and do that for the customer. My customers are too busy running their business to do any of this stuff, but they see real return on investment with these services, okay? Mobile couponing. I also do mobile couponing for my clients. I charge them $100 a month to manage their mobile coupons. And of course, website management, another $100 a month is what I charge. So there's 800 in services a month. Again, going back to these first couple slides, we're talking about $500 a month in net reoccurring revenue. As you can see here, there's 800. And some of these will fit and some of these won't fit, but you can generally get to $500 in reoccurring revenue with your clients where they're seeing return on investment and they're going to stick with you. So what is this? What is the niche that sticks? Well, in the 3.5 years that I've been in the local consulting space, and I've been in the internet marketing space for over 17 years, is that it's restaurants. Pretty much all of my clients for marketing are restaurants. Now, I get some business consulting clients that are out of this space, but all my local consultant clients are restaurants. And there's a lot of them, okay? And no one really focuses on them because they say they're very difficult to reach. The reality is they're not. You just got to know how to reach them and go after them. Okay, I'm going to stop here for a second. If you have any questions, please take a moment and put them in the chat box. And let's see if we can get them answered before I talk about the 2 programs I have for you today to choose from. Don't be shy. Hey, Mario. Got a question for me? Okay. Let's go on and talk about the 2 programs that I have. Well, I have the Do-It-Yourself Standard program, and I also have a 12-week coaching program that I've put together. I find that people are always looking to get advice, and I'm putting a very constructive program together to help you build your business to a 10-figure business over a 120-day period with a 12-week coaching program. And it's, be a marketing ninja. So let's talk about the Do-It-Yourself Standard program. Well, first of all, you're going to get a pro account with us today if you decide to take me up on this offer. Now, generally with a pro account, you get 3 caller accounts. So you could have 3 telemarketers working for you at one time. But for today and on this webinar, I'm going to be giving out 5 accounts. You're going to get the CMC marketing funnel system. Now, what's in that? Well, we have 12 smart scripts. Basically, it's the first calling script, and it's also the second calling script for 6 local offers. You're going to get 3 ready-to-go email templates, and these are the email templates that you can use for these 6 markets and put them into MailChimp. You get step-by-step video training with us. And you're going to be getting a bonus of the Dialing for Dollars calculator. And this gets down to figuring out every time your telemarketer picks up the phone for your particular business, what is it worth for that person to make that call for you? And we're going to be giving you our virtual callers hiring kit, so you could hire your telemarketers on Odesk, or what was formerly Odesk. Now, the 2 programs that we have for you today is we have a $1 14-day trial, and then after that, it's $5.97 for the year. And what that works out to be, and you really need to think about it, and when you're buying software like this, it works out to be $9.95 a month for your callers. Now, I do have a pay in full option for you today, and that is $397 for the year, and that's going to save you $200 a year. Now, even if you stay with us and you keep your account current with us, what you're going to have that $200 each and every year for you. Okay, so as long as you want to stay with us, you'll be paying $397. We're going to lock in that pricing for you. All right, and that works out to be $6.60 per month per caller. You will not find any other platform out there that you can get your telemarketers working in with all the robust features that are in it. So let me jump over to the 12-week program. Well, what we're going to give you here with the 12-week coaching program is that we're going to give you a lifetime self-hosted license of My Virtual Caller. You're going to be able to have unlimited number of telemarketers working for you. Now, during this 12-week period of time, we will be hosting your account, and then we'll migrate it over to any hosting platform that you want to be migrated for. But it'll be an unlimited account. So basically, you're getting the software for a one-time purchase. First thing we're going to do with you is do a 90-minute one-on-one business evaluation. This is when we get together, generally going to get on Skype, and we're going to do a business evaluation. Typically, I mind map your entire business, where you're at, where you want to go. From there, I then put a customized business marketing plan together, a business and marketing plan together for you with a 12-month pro forma. We look at cost and an action plan to achieve that 10K a month in recurring revenue. We're going to have weekly 30-minute one-on-one calls where it'll be more of an accountability and also answer anything or questions that you need answered. And of course, I'm going to assist you in helping you build your team and your systems and approaches that will be outlined in your business and marketing plan. I'm going to give you a bonus. I'm finishing up on two complete foot in the door strategies, okay, systems. One is around the WordPress audit, and the other one is around mobile. And you're going to get both of those when you get into the 12-week coaching program. The real value here is, and I do business coaching, is if you were outside of the local consulting space, I would be charging you close to $10,000 to be your business coach for a 90-day period of time. But you will not pay anywhere near that today. The two programs I have for you is a 5-pay program, okay, for $997 today, and then 4 equal installments, 30 days apart or every month of $500. Or if you want to pay in full today, you can pick up the program for $24.97 and save yourself $500. So if you get any questions, please take a moment, put them in the chat box. Let's get them answered. I'm going to go live and give you a button here just below the video here in a second. And that should be popping up here probably within the next 5 to 10 seconds. As soon as that button pops up, you'll be taken out to a page that looks very similar to this, where you'll have the opportunity to purchase any of these options. So if you have any questions, please put them in the chat box. Let's get them answered. Looks like the buttons just popped up. Any questions? Okay. Well, thanks. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for being on the call. Hopefully you found this to be some great information, and we look forward to talking soon. Take care. Bye-bye.